Good morning, here we are. This is the video lecture, the physics video lecture, Psci 168 video lecture 1. My name is Carl Rundy, and you can call me Professor when we finally meet. Right now, I just want to give you a short introduction to what we're going to be doing this semester and in the following week before we actually meet in person on January 31st. So until then, we have a little work to do. Let's go over the syllabus together, and I'll explain a few things. Okay, so Psci, Physical Science 168, Energy and the Environment, Spring 2022. So yeah, I have office hours and room and class number and room and so forth, which we'll talk about more when we actually meet. The first interesting thing is there are no required books for this course. Lecture notes and materials are to be incorporated into a notebook. So we're going to take many notes, good notes, and we're also going to print out things that we find online, interesting pictures, other useful information, and that will be compiled into your book that you produced yourself. So lecture notes and other materials are to be incorporated into a notebook at the end of the semester. I'm reading here from this syllabus. Students will number the pages, construct a table of contents and an index for their book, and turn it in for a grade. So you'll turn the notebook into me on the second to last day of the semester, and then on the last day of the semester, I'll return it for you. You have it, you can study from it as you go into the final exam. Course goals. We systematically develop the mathematical and physical concepts needed to understand energy. So this is going to be a lot of physics, but I have a way of developing the entire subject. You have to trust me on that. Students have different levels of mathematical background and so forth, but I've done this before, okay? So don't worry about that. The first video lectures are probably going to be pretty mathematical. Don't worry about it. Just faithfully follow along till we are able to discuss these things in person. It's going to be great. So I'm going to develop the math and physics in order to understand energy. So I'm supplying all of the logic in this, and you guys follow along. And you can see from the topics, there are quite a bunch of interesting topics because we're going to start from nothing. And so I introduced geometry and some astronomical facts, forces, structures as we're reading here on the topics list. Projectiles, satellites, it all plays a role in order to really understand energy, Newton's laws, hydropower, etc. And so those topics will be introduced in these next 3 lectures that we're doing, the online lectures, my YouTube lectures. Okay, so continuing down the list here, we have exams, 2 midterms, and a comprehensive final exam. I have dates for them, the dates for the notebooks to be turned in, and the grading and so forth. Now at the very bottom, there's a thing about the GE assessment requirement. We'll talk about that in person too. It'll really be basically just a good part of your notebook. So the assessment requirement will be taken from some of the work we've done in the semester. It'd be no problem at all. Okay, so now let's talk a bit about the homework assignment that we have for the next few lectures. Since we're constructing a notebook, you can start with these first 4 video lectures that I'm posting. Take very good notes. During the lecture, I'll mention things that you could look up online and print out, so you want to print those things out as well. And at the end of these first 4 lectures, you will send me pictures of all of your handwritten notes. and your downloads as well. You'll send me pictures in an email, and I'll open them up, I'm not going to print them out. I'm going to open them up, look at them, and check off, put a check mark by your name, show that you did it. Good, so that's the homework. I'll put the due date here first. Due on Friday, January 28th by 6:00 p.m. Send me pictures of all of your notes. So send pictures of your handwritten notes, pictures of your handwritten notes, plus other images that you can download to my email, krune@csu.fresno.edu. So an important note on that is to open a new message. Open a new message, because if you respond to the mass email I sent out, it might get lost. I might miss it because I'm going to be getting a lot of emails. So new message, so open new message. So you send to this email address. That's the first point. Second point is that your subject line, also because I'm getting a lot of messages, so of course I want to not lose any. So subject is going to be your name, and then Psci 168 notes. And that way I'll definitely get it, have a look at it, and check you off. I'll definitely recognize what's on those notes because it's going to be what you have up on the board here. So yeah, there will be 4 video lectures. The other 3 are pretty much full length. This one is very short. This is pretty much what I had to say. But yeah, I'll give a little bit of an outline again, just looking at our topics here. Let me just make this little list, because like I said, we're building everything from scratch. So all of the mathematical tools, all the observations that go into the physics of energy are going to be systematically developed by me. You just have to faithfully follow along, and it'll work. I've done this before. Okay. So yeah, we're going to motivate why we need geometry, so to speak, where it comes from, arithmetic, and some algebraic relations. And with those, we can do some astronomy, because the class is energy and the environment is the entire Earth. And to understand the entire Earth, you actually have to know some astronomy. Okay, so we'll do that. Then we get into force and physics proper. But once we learn something about force, we'll do a little discussion of structures. Structures, and I'm not going to go through everything here. Then we have to study motion. And you'll notice, I'm kind of making the point here, we haven't even gotten to the energy concept yet. We have all this background. Eventually we get to energy physics, at some point, Newton's laws and energy. And at that point, we have the background to start talking about all these things. I think you're going to enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to meeting everybody. But until then, we have these 4 video lectures. This one I'm about to end right now. Like I said, looking forward to meet you guys, and we'll see you then.